Doesn't this look peaceful, beautiful, calm, and serene? Well, before we get to the hike in Gaital, let me take you on my electricity adventure that I've had for 3 days. Here's a fun fact about electricity in El Valle, and possibly it could happen where you might be living in Panama. So a couple times I've noticed that part of the house won't have electricity and part will. So one time I called the electrician immediately because I figured something's wrong with the wiring. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so expensive. I can't believe I'm gonna have to fix half the house, the wiring. Oh, it's gonna cost so much. And it turns out that it was something in town. There's 2 wires that feed into the utility poles, and both of them combined provide all of the electricity. But if one wire is not functioning, for some reason it just affects part of the house. So like right now, my refrigerator's not working, the kitchen lights, the bathroom fan, so just a section of the house. But now I know, oh, and my internet's not working. Even the data, so I can't even get 3G. And usually when that's happened, it's because of some weird electrical glitch in the system. It's really annoying because, when I have client calls, at least if I have my data, I can connect. But without even having LTE or even 3G, you're just kind of stuck. So anyway, hopefully it'll come on soon. I don't think I have anything too perishable in the fridge, but I do end up throwing out quite a bit of food. Hey, remember 5 hours ago when I said it was probably no big deal about the electricity and that it was probably a wire? Well, that was 5 hours ago, and the electricity is still being weird. Unfortunately, my refrigerator is not getting power, and then most of the outlets. So it's definitely a weird thing. And then I tried filling out the Naturgy report form, and I can't fill in the fields. Like, it just won't let me fill in the fields. So I had to ask my friend Linda to put the report in for me. And then I did at least get an email confirmation. And I called and I was able to speak with someone in English. So at least I feel like I'm kind of in the know. They're gonna, send out a truck. Probably I'll be asleep by the time the truck gets here, but either I'll have power or they'll send an email saying, it's not on our line, and then I have to contact an electrician. Oh joy. Well, good morning. Do you remember, 10 hours ago when I gave an update about the electricity? So I still don't have power. Naturgy hasn't shown up yet. I put some yellow tape outside so that maybe they could identify the house, because they have my NIS number, so I'm pretty sure they know like where locations are, but it is a little weird because there's no addresses here. So I just put some yellow tape outside. I do have one outlet upstairs that's working and that I can plug in the Starlink. So I just plugged that in. I don't know why I didn't think about it yesterday. But at some point yesterday, my LTE was working. But now there's another problem that got thrown into the mix. Actually, 2. So I had a roofer come. Actually, he's kind of a jack of all trades. Anyway, he came to look at the sump pump under the house that helps eliminate the water that accumulates under my house. He dropped his phone in the water. I gave him a big old bag of rice because I've heard maybe that can help dry out the phone. I really felt bad for him. I felt kind of responsible because he was there, for me to fix something. So anyway, he dropped his phone, and then I go in the casita this morning because I have some finishing touches to do for a guest that's checking in, and there is a big puddle of water from the ceiling that's on the floor. And I try and text him because originally he was doing my roof work, but I told him I had a guest checking in, and so we couldn't do, he was going to do some aluminum taping because I didn't actually have an active leak. But now I have an active leak, and he doesn't have an active phone. So I'm just going to do the best I can, possibly call a different roofer, but I think Amato has a phone that he's borrowing from a friend. And if not today, then I'll put some feelers out to see if somebody else can come by. But I actually really trust him. And this other roofer who'd done a bunch of work, I mean, he's fairly competent, but he's highly flirtatious. And I just don't need to deal with that. I just don't like that. That's not cool. Anyway, I got a lot to do. I forgot another thing. I think all the food in my fridge and freezer is not going to be savable. And instead of getting like a gas generator, I think I do want to get a couple of those battery packs, because that's the one thing that I absolutely can't stand about the power outages is losing food. It used to happen where the power would go out like a few hours after I put fresh chicken in the fridge. Literally, I had a joke with a friend, like when the power went out, she would text me like, "Did you buy chicken?" I'd be like, "Yep." So that really annoys me. And the internet, sometimes you can get the LTE signal and deal with that, but thankfully, at least I do have some outlets working. The fridge outlet is not one of them, and all the downstairs ones aren't working. Or maybe I could get an extension cord. I'm thinking out loud. I'm processing. This is how it happens. Solutions are coming to me. All right, I gotta go, for real. Every time I hear a truck, I'm like running outside like it's Santa's sleigh. I'm like, Nattergy? Is it you? Nope. What a crazy morning this is. So let's see, where did we leave off? All right, so the roofer came. He was able to tape the roof, and hopefully that will fix any active leaking that was happening. He also had told me that he does electrical work. So I said, I'm waiting on Nattergy to come look at my electricity because half the house doesn't have it. And if it is my issue, can you come, fix it maybe, or look at it tomorrow? Because he was busy today. He carved out some time, to come do this roof fix because I had a leak. So he did a quick little test and told me that it was a breaker, and that's my responsibility, so that, it's not Nattergy, it's my breaker on my side. So when I was going out to go get the breaker, the power went out fully as I was on my way going out the door. So then I'm thinking, like, do I need to get more breakers? Like, are all of my breakers failing all at once? And then I saw like 2 Nattergy trucks on Millionarios Avenue, which is one street over from me. And I showed them my ticket, for service. But I said, I think it might be, my issue and not a Nattergy issue. So they're working on some lines. So right now all the power's out, but at least I know why. And I'm pretty sure it is just that breaker that has to be replaced. The electrician's going to come tomorrow and fix that. And I plugged my refrigerator in to an extension cord that there's like one outlet on the bottom floor that was working. But now I don't know if the food is going to be okay. Some things in the freezer actually seemed like they stayed frozen, so that's good. I just get weird about food that isn't at the proper temperature. If you've had food poisoning a few times, you can relate. So anyway, I'm gonna go sit for a minute. What a relief to have that all taken care of. Now let's go to Cerro Gaital. It's a beautiful park with a nice trail in El Valle. As you're driving toward La Mesa, I'll show you as I'm going to get to the trailhead. It's a little bit out of town from El Valle, but highly worth the drive, in my opinion. This is La Mesa, and there's the Toledano chicken farms up here. This is where you drive past to get to Gaital. When you get to this part of the road where you can go straight or to the right, you go to the right. When you reach this point, you take a right-hand turn. And this is where you park to go on the trail for Gaital. They do have a book where you sign in to go on the hike. Here's the entrance to Gaital. It's nice to have some sun. Buenas. At the time of going on this hike, they were asking for a donation, but you couldn't pay with cash. You had to pay with an app that I don't have. So you go this way up to these stairs, and then at the top you can either go to the left or to the right. I find the left side is a little easier. I've done the whole loop where I went up the left and then down the right, but I find the right side to be a little steep, a little slippery. So I usually just go up the left and then come back down the same way. I am so glad I did this today. I was really tired, but I think that I've been tired from doing all the video work and just sitting at the computer, because now I just feel really energized. I wish you could hear all the sounds and just feel the gentle breeze, the occasional mosquito bite, and I forgot to put on bug spray. Oh, it's just so rejuvenating to be in the jungle. Nice to have a bench to sit and have some water. But there are so many mosquitoes. They're all flying around my microphone cover. I'm afraid I'm going to inhale them. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." This is how I feel every time I go into the woods.